Hey, what's going on guys? Cotton here, and the Churchill update has landed for Heroes and Generals, and you know what that means. It's time to play with our Johnson. Ha! Penis joke. No, but seriously. The Johnson is the new LMG added to the American side, and what's cool about it is both paratrooper and infantry can use it. The weapon draws so many similarities to the FG-42 that even the description itself says it's just like the FG-42. So how do we get our hands on this bad boy? Well, if you're infantry, you're going to need a level 12 LMG assault ribbon. If you're going for the Johnson on a paratrooper, you only need level 9 parachute ribbon. The Johnson will cost you 217,000 credits or 2,600 gold, and it weighs 6 inventory slots. So as I mentioned, the weapon is essentially the FG-42 counterpart for the Americans, but it's kind of cool that it's not just limited to paratroopers like the FG-42 is. But yeah, so the Johnson is basically going to have the same type of recoil that the FG-42 has. When firing it, it's going to pull up and to the left a bit, so you're going to have to pull your mouse down and to the right just to help counteract that. Now, of course, the Johnson is not going to be just an exact copy of the FG-42. There are some small differences here. The Johnson actually does a tiny bit more damage and has a hair bit more rate of fire, but it actually takes a full second longer to reload than the FG-42. The FG-42 clocks in at about 3.3 seconds, whereas the Johnson's going to be 4.3. And I don't consider the Johnson to really be a gun that's reliant on any badges, but I do find myself going through that 20-round magazine that it has rather quickly, so I would suggest bringing the fast reload badge if you can. I would also suggest adding more ammunition to the loadout, increasing the weapon's weight to 7. You only get 5 extra magazines with it, and again, I find myself burning through those very quickly. It could just be me, but just a heads up. The Johnson does have a select fire trigger, which will help you, take your time at those longer shots that you're trying to make. But my only complaint so far with the Johnson is that the iron sight is kinda wonky. The near sight half of it is very large, and when you're firing it at full auto, I tend to lose sight of my target. It kinda wobbles up in the way. And also, the center cross that you aim with is a bit confusing to me. I honestly still have not figured out exactly where the bullets come from. I know that might sound crazy, like come on Cotton, it's so simple. Sometimes, at closer ranges, I feel like the bullets are coming from the absolute tippy top of the cross. Whereas at longer ranges, I feel like I'm actually using the intersection of the cross. Now, T-Scope has taught me and just burned into me to use the intersection. So, I don't know, I'm gonna have to maybe test out this iron sight a bit more, but so far that's my only complaint. The iron sight is just a bit weird to me. But all in all, the Johnson is a good LMG. It's very similar to the FG-42 also in the fact that it doesn't excel at any one thing, particularly well. It's, jack of all trades but master of none kind of deal. It's just a different utility to have. I would really recommend bringing this more as a paratrooper weapon, as you'll have better luck with the 1919 at higher levels of infantry than you would this weapon. It just seems like the 1919 could easily overpower this gun, but this is definitely a great addition to paratroopers. And aside from showing you the loadout here, I can show you my preferred loadout so far is using just the chrome line barrel, which adds just a hair bit more damage and range to the gun. It actually helps you secure a 3-hit kill against heavy sets a bit easier with virtually 0 drawbacks. And I also threw a field trigger on there just to get a little bit more RPM out of it at, closer ranges. I haven't really found much use for the ammo yet. Stock ammunition seems to work really well on it, unless you really want harder ammunition, but it really adds to the recoil, so I try to stay away from it myself. Yeah, guys, that's all I got about right now for the Johnson here. I will be doing a video on the P38 as well. I kind of have some ideas for that, so it might take me a little bit longer to get that one out here, but we'll see what happens. But hey, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.